Hello everybody, long time no see. It's Lord of Snake 6 here, and today I'm going to kind of go over Lucasfilms being bought by Disney. First off, we're going to start with the money. I've already tried this video once, but it went over 10 minutes, so I just don't feel like waiting that long to upload it and stuff. But the money is basically, they paid $4.7 to $5 billion, $5 to $7 billion, I can't remember. I think it was $4.5 billion. But anyways, I mean, if you think about the money, that's a lot of money. I could take my life. Just think about it. Well, let's go with your life. You could take your life, most likely, and easily pass down some money to your kids. Then they could pass it down to your grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids. Because $4.7 or $5 billion is a lot of money, in my opinion. I mean, I could probably do with $1 million and still be able to pass half of it down to my kids. Probably not, but probably so. So I just wanted to say it like that. I mean, there's really not much else to say about that. Second off, I'm gonna talk about the movie play, like the role play in the movie and stuff. I don't want to see. I actually, if they had not announced it as 7, 8, 9, I probably would have predicted they would have done something on the Old Republic, which actually would have been pretty cool. But now I'm thinking it's also the expanded universe, which is fine with me too. And I guess the expanded universe would also be the Old Republic, but you know what I mean. After the fact, I would actually be fine with that too, as long as it's something like the kids of Han Solo and Luke and Leia, you know, that would actually be quite interesting. But at the same time, I mean, I don't want to see Luke, Han, and Leia as like 50 to 60-year-old people fighting off Sith Lords. I think Han Solo right now, he's around 55, something like that, 54. I would love to see Han Solo as maybe like the father. That would actually be great. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. Of the kids. He'd be the father of the kids is what I'm trying to say. But like I said, I just don't want to see them all as old men and women sitting there fighting off Sith Lords. That's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like watching a bunch of Palpatines fight each other. So yeah. Next, we're going to go on to the movies that Disney have already produced, and then to the movies now. I don't want to see Pirates of the Caribbean, the third episodes of Pirates of the Caribbean and Narnia. Narnia had its third episode, I think it was, or it was third or fourth. But anyways, it had the third episode where the kid Peter, I don't know if you know anything really about Narnia, but the kid Peter had like cut open his hand, I believe. He obtained some blood, and he was going to rebirth the witch out of ice, and they were going to take over Narnia again, or at least try to, but he was stopped, blah blah blah. She almost got out, but she didn't. I think that's actually how she ended up completely dying. Next, I want to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean. This is like the worst part of a Disney movie I think I've ever seen, is when I saw the witch doctor lady in episode 3 or 4 or something like that. I think there's 4 of them. I think the 4th one was the Fountain of Youth, which I liked. I love that one. It got me back into Pirates of the Caribbean. But the 3rd one took me out. It was about how it was between Davy Jones, the English, the normal pirates, and then the tricked out pirates, the Davy Jones's pirates. And that, first off, that's 4 sides to keep track of, so that's already kind of hard. I mean, Star Wars, we're keeping track of 2 sides. Narnia, we're keeping track of 2 sides. Pirates of the Caribbean, we were keeping track of 4 sides, so that's already one hard part. Second off, we have, toward the end, you see them all swirling down in a big what you call it, a whirlpool. That's what you call it. And this thing I know, the big witch doctor lady turns huge and she explodes into a bunch of crabs. That's not what I want to see. I wanted to see them get sucked into the whirlpool, and oh yeah, I think this is what does happen. He gets sucked into the whirlpool, and there's a bunch of Captain Jacks or something like that. I mean, I just don't want to see that, actually. I was actually just thinking about that, but I mean, it would be better if the whirlpool sucked in the other three. Maybe not the skeleton ones, because I knew a few of them were working together. I think the skeleton ones were working with the original pirates, Captain Jack and them, and I think the other two were working together. So it would have been better if they had sucked down Davy Jones and the other one, and then the whirlpool ended right before Captain Jack and them were about ready to get sucked down into it. But of course, they had to save Will Turner's dad and all this other stuff. So that's all I got to really say about that. There's the other two movies, which are Pixar. There's Pixar movies, and there are the Avengers. The Avengers I have no problem with. You can just scrape that one off. Pixar I've had no problem with ever. I've never had any problem with those two. Pixar is a great movie making, I guess you could say, company. I don't know what you call it, but I hope that Pixar just makes a whole bunch of them, and I hope that the Avengers guy makes a whole bunch of the Avengers movie, just as long as he don't take it and mess it up too. So I'm fine with that. Next, since I'm over with the movie stuff, all the other movies. Also, I wanted to say I don't want him to do that to Star Wars because like I don't want to see Darth Vader frozen in carbonite, a clone of Darth Vader frozen in carbonite, and the carbonite expands and expands, and Darth Vader almost gets out, and then he blows up into a million stormtroopers. I don't want to see that. So yeah, I know I was just kind of mixing the Pirates of the Caribbean movie and the Narnia movie together. But next we have the ratings, and that's the last thing I want to talk about. I don't know if I'm raging about this or what, but I'm kind of doing a little bit of both. First off, there are what are there? Okay, that's right. There's G, PG, PG-13, and rated R. Now, I think there's actually another one. I think it's rated AR, adult recommended, or something like that. I don't know. But, so anyways, I'm just going to go and take off G. I'm going to go up to PG and leave the other three on there. Rated R, I'm going to have to say I don't mind it as long as it's not something rated R about, like, you know, romance. Most of you know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, like ghost type stuff. I wouldn't actually probably mind if they did like Death Troopers. That's a book about a whole bunch of a whole bunch of stormtroopers that become zombies. But, don't turn it into like a scary movie or a romance movie, just rated R. As long as you just keep the original one, that's fine with me. So, you can go and scratch off R. I don't really care too much about R. PG-13 would be perfect for this movie. I'm just going to set that one aside. If you see my bed, I'm like setting them aside in my mind. Next, you have PG. PG, I wouldn't mind. Because, I mean, it's just parental guidance. I mean, it just would scratch off a few things. We'd be missing blood and stuff like that. And I actually wouldn't like that myself. So, I'm going to go ahead and scratch that one off as no. So, I'm going to put that with G. G, just too kid-like. So, in my opinion, don't do PG, don't do G. Maybe or maybe not do rated R. But PG-13 is, like, perfect. So, I just say do PG-13, leave rated R out. So, just no for rated R also. And just scratch out those three and make it PG-13. So, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. Before we go, I actually got this the other day. It's actually a heavy coin. It says it in Arabic. It says Florida Rain Corps Battalion, Florida Rain Corps Battalion. On the back, Blitz, Colt, Echo 5s, Hammer, and Havoc. And it says Florida Arcs. So I'll talk to you guys later, and bye.